Yep.
All right, so for the Rangers, what were your reaction to finding out you're going to be wearing capes?
Oh, what were your reactions to wearing the capes? Oh, that's a chip question.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm not like for me. It wasn't like as much as Chip liked capes. My feelings were slightly more ambivalent about capes, but they were cool to swish around.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. Way over there. Yeah, waving in the glove.
Udonna has always been my favorite Power Ranger of any season ever. What is y'all's favorite PETA stories?
Oh yeah.
Woo! Udonna!
Great one. Anybody who has one, go for it.
Applause for Udonna.
Stop down. Yeah, Claire.
Yeah, so Claire and Udonna obviously had a lot of scenes together, and I knew PETA before we started Power Rangers, and what you guys might not know about PETA is she's a legend in New Zealand, and mainly for her incredible contribution to theatre. So she had a theatre company, and they would create and make new pieces of theatre, and they were very celebrated in New Zealand, and she's a real creative genius, so talented. So I knew her kind of from around the traps in Auckland, and then when I found out that she was in the show and I would be doing so many of my scenes with her, I was so delighted because I just looked up to her so much. And I think, the memories, it's not one really specific, but we spent so much time with each other, and when you're making any TV show, but including this one, there's a lot of waiting around. And so we would just, because often the scenes were just me and her, but even when it was everyone, but I just remember me and her sitting in the camper for hours on end and just having a really lovely time. Her actual personality is kind of actually similar to Udonna. She's not quite as serious, because Udonna's quite a serious, earnest character, and PETA definitely has a lighter energy to her and was really funny, but she's equally as warm, equally as kind, and equally as intelligent. So I just remember kind of just basking in her glow in the camper and feeling so lucky that I got to spend so much time hanging out with her. Yeah.
Very good. With the Quantron, yeah, right there.
Yeah, this is a widespread question for all of you. Which, you stole my question, unfortunately, but I do.
It is what I do as hosting this person. I apologize. Yeah.
I love this guy. Which episode of Mystic Force out of 32 that impacted you the most? Y'all want ladies first? Old heads first?
Oh, wow.
Old heads. We're at the old heads.
For me, it was when Claire became the Gatekeeper.
I think it was definitely the Vampire Stranger within Part 1 and Part 2. Do you remember the one where I got turned into stone?
Yeah!
But it's funny, I like it's a cool episode, but I spent half the episode not doing anything because I was a statue. So I think I like it because I had a lot of time off.
There was one where we went to a giant realm, and and just that one they put us in leather, and they bronzed us up, they bronzed me up in a way that I would never tan like that. I was so orange. But I just remember having that was a really funny episode. I had a good time on that one.
Yeah, what I thought was, go on, keep going.
Mr. B?
Mr. What? Mr. B.
I can't pronounce
I'll say likewise to that episode, that was great. And but for Xander, maybe Petrified Xander.
Oh, yeah.
You've done a lot of lessons there.
Yes.
He gave you a hard time, Mr.
Oh.
Yeah, I liked. There was a. I think it was episode 1 or 2 where we drowned in the swamp. The mud. That was fun to shoot. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Dark Wish was good too.
Yeah.
That was fun. What about you?
Mr. Graham?
Chris?
Well, it's a toss-up because sometimes you like the love and sometimes you love the rough stuff. So, Heir Apparent was great.
Yeah.
There was, and I can't remember the episode's name, but It was a flashback when Udonna and I were, when he was a baby, and I had to hand the baby over to Daggeron, and then we got blown up. I love it.
When you found out he was your daddy, he was like, who's this guy?
Yeah, it was knowing that Leanbow was still alive. It gave Daggeron more impetus to work because he was the friend that lost the baby. You know?
That's pretty serious when you think about it.
Yeah. How's that for Daddy Wood right there, buddy?
I love that.
Hold on, I see y'all had an open seat here. I know. Yeah. I see Udonna right there.
Yes, Spirit is with us.
I like to think she would like this too. I think she'd have a lot of fun to see that the show is still getting.
Yeah, she would love it.
Yeah,
She would love to be there.
I know.
You're a legend, mate. You're an absolute legend. We love you.
Right there, the marble in the gray. Yeah.
It's kind of a diversity in the room between generations and everything, that Power Rangers has been there for a lot of people. What gets you through your points, your moments, your anxiety, and your overwhelmness? Is it music? What's your favorite song? Do you do breathing? What gets you through?
There you go. We turn this into a really good question. That's deep. Yeah.
Well, I've recently started like gardening quite a lot. So I've got this thing called an allotment, which is like a bit of in London. Nobody has a garden, so they just like give you a bit of a garden somewhere, and yeah, it's something like really peaceful about just like tilling the earth. And I think we've grown one radish so far. But man, it tasted good.
Oh man, that's fantastic. In the blue back there.
So my name is Tucker. Some of you might know me as Nefarious. I'm a YouTuber. Hi, Angie. Angie and I did a panel last year, and I wanted to ask you two this, and Melanie, I didn't get to ask you this. But I was wondering, what was it like playing sisters on the show? What was the dynamic like? And yeah, it was really great to watch you two.
I'm so glad. That's a lot of the feedback that I've got from meeting people, that they wanted more of the sisters. I was like, yeah. Where'd it go? No, Angie and I had so much in common when we met. Both our dads are Filipino, and our mums are Australian. So we were Fila girls, and just got along well, like so well straight away, like sisters. And I think because all of us had to travel to New Zealand for the job, and we were all the way from home, we really kind of clung to each other. And they were always my favourite scenes to shoot, was, when we were calling each other sis, doing, what was the question?
That was kind of it, I suppose.
Yeah. When have you got that?
I think we were always late together. I feel like that's a commonality that's happening again on repeat, just quietly. But we did have a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We went out dancing and everything. It was great. Probably too much dancing, yeah.
When you recorded, it was what, 2007 was it, or 6? When were you 5? Oh, 5. So great. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I was thinking of some other cast, but before smartphones, before all of us buried like this.
Yeah.
So the memories, you would tape things differently, film things differently, have different pictures on social media, but the engagements you had then. Were there probably more moments that you would never record, but now you wouldn't do those things these days? Yeah. If you could share one that's appropriate, or not, it doesn't matter. That would be pretty cool, I think. Anybody who wants to.
Remember the ping pong we used to play?
We used to play ping pong, yeah. We had a ping pong table on set, and I used to win all the time. Is that the story?
I'm pretty sure one of our directors, Charlie, remember? He was pretty gung-ho. He was the sweetest director ever, so lovely. And then he got real aggressive with the table tennis. Yeah.
Charlie has
That's a pretty good story, I think. That's good enough. It's pretty wholesome, which is nice.
But yes, you are right. It was before the smartphones. It was before the iPhones. So Yeah, we were connecting. There was no filming and taking photos of everyone that sneezes and does something.
Yeah, and even like on set, nowadays, if you're on set, every actor, even crew members, everyone's just on their phones.
Yeah, it's
so they're not,
awful.
or you go back to, whereas we were just like kicking around and like talking to each other.
Climbing trees, talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss those days actually. I miss the pre-iPhone days.
One thing that's funny about that for me is, pre-iPhone, I took so many photos with my camera and I developed them all, in the early 2000s. So I have like a whole photo album of all of us. I should have brought it. That would have been the time. But I don't have a document. It's like a documentary in photo form that I have not had since. Basically, as soon as we had iPhones and could take photos so easily, who prints these photos anymore? I still don't have. I have a 5-year-old and 3-year-old. There are no evidence of my 3-year-old in my house because I haven't printed the photos. But this was the time that there are so many, probably too many in some situations. But yeah, it was great.
You can.
No, I'm good. I'm just ready for the next one.
Green shirt there, just do it.
Alright, I am TikTok, I talk Power Rangers on TikTok, and my question is, was there ever a discussion of doing a team up with the prior season SP, where John would probably be playing 2 characters at once, or it never came
was there ever
an idea?
Not that I know of. But it would have been good. There used to be the tradition seasons before where the old the current Rangers set would welcome in the newcomers and the old that used to be really good because it linked the world together. But I think when you look at SPD, the fad then was technology and space. A lot of the American shows were set in space, Battlestar Galactica, so it was really famous at the time. And then when the next season happened, went from technology, machinery to magic and the woods. And I thought that it would have been pretty trippy to try and link the two together because it kind of felt like there was a time barrier between them, but I felt that alone those seasons they stand alone. It would have been hard to mesh them. Because I get lost with the Power Rangers like Dino Thunder.
They're just so thematically different.
So, and I think Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings were hotcakes in the early 2000s, so the theme came through really fast, and
We're gonna go you and then Rizwan right behind you. Kara, then you. Yeah.
I have technically 2 parts. A, I have Jolly Ranchers and you want some. And B, I know a couple of you played like different characters throughout like Power Rangers. So, what was your favorite character to play outside of Mystic Force? And if you didn't play a different character, which character would you like to play either in Mystic Force or in this season?
Good question.
Okay, Clare was my favourite character to play of the ones that I have played. But I'm not allowed to say Clare. So I will say Krista because with Nova. Fun fact, I was never actually on set. I was not underneath the suit and I just recorded my role in ADR. So I just went into a booth and recorded, because I think she takes her helmet off for a second, right, and it's not me? Yeah. I don't know who that is. She was a member of the crew. Okay, she was a member of the crew. So so my Nova experience was just in a booth, which was really fun. But no, Krista was great because it was obviously my first time. But also James Napier and Tom Hearn, I had just worked with them on another TV show for 5 years previously. So we were really great friends, and so it was great to reconnect with them.
It's awesome.
It's different for Rangers because they have one solid role, and then you have your Power Ranger morph, and then you have your characters. If Barney or Kelson was here, they could talk about all the different characters that they've played. And he played so many characters. But it's an actor's dream to be able to play so many different roles. For me, I would have loved to play Sergeant Silverback a bit more. Because I got to really, lean into my southern accent. I loved Full Metal Jacket, so I imitated the character of Leone's performance in Full Metal Jacket as a drill instructor. But yeah, Sergeant Silverback would have been my Because there's nothing better than drilling these guys, right? Like really, and making them overcome this thing together. But yeah, thank you.
Not too shabby. Good question. Rizwan.
Okay, so one comment I'll ask a question. So Antonia, it sounds like we have to do another reunion to bring the photo book down.
Right? Okay, the next time, can
At
you
the
guys...
40th reunion, we'll
Can
do
you
that.
remind me, someone message me on social media and say, bring the photo album, okay? And then I will. So,
As soon as you're announced, as soon as you're
okay, everyone message me and then I will remember. Yeah.
The gentleman in the cane, with the cane back there. Yeah. Oh, Rizwan had a question too. So after Rizwan, we'll go to Xander back then.
So,
Yeah.
question for Nick. I was curious about your Yellow Ranger comedy that you had posted about a year ago. Oh, yeah. I couldn't really see much information about what it was or, I'm just curious about more information about it.
Oh sure, yeah. I actually just so I did a show called Yellow Power Ranger. I did it at the Edinburgh Comedy Festival last year, and I actually just did a run of it in London. And it's basically a comedy show where I play myself at a comic convention, trying to get a reunion of the cast together, but nobody else has showed up.
That's smart.
And
based on a true story.
And it just so happened that while I was doing the show in Edinburgh, the rest of the cast were meeting up in LA for this reunion, which was a really funny way to end the show by being like, while I'm doing this, the rest of the cast are actually getting together. But I sort of played a fictitious version of myself, and it's just a very silly show. But I played some clips from the show, yeah, it was just a bit of fun.
US tour.
Cool. Yeah,
US tour. Yeah. I'll bring it here.
All right, everybody. I think we've got time for 2 more questions, and then we're gonna have Javier have a final word if you want one. I didn't ask you this before, but I want you to have one, and then anyone else who has a final thought. And then if we could take a group picture of everybody in front of the thing there and do the magical source, all the stuff, all the fun. We're gonna do all of it, but there's time for 2 more questions. The gentleman in the hat's had his hand up most of this show, or whatever this is. Yeah.
Any Power Rangers team from Mighty Morphin to Cosmic Crew to team up with, which one would you choose?
Oh. Christopher Kamen Lee and the Space Rangers would be a fun one, right, Chris? That's the obvious choice.
I had quite a few friends who were in RPM, so yeah, I guess that one.
I reckon I'd go Operation Overdrive for the same reason. I've got a couple of really cool friends, so.
I think I met some of my really good friends and they were in that one as well.
I would go Mighty Morphin.
The
OG, back to where it all started, for sure.
That's
for
it.
Sure.
That's not a bad choice either. That's good.
I was pretty happy with Once a Ranger. That was a.
Oh yeah, I mean that's neat. You got a sampling of all of the fun seasons there.
A bit of everything.
And Emma was there. That's cool. Yeah. Sure.
Let me think about this. I think I would like to mix and match